Welcome to Charter Local Edition. I'm Tracy Young. It's estimated that 16% of federal taxes are either underreported or underpaid by businesses and individuals. Joining us to talk about a few of the proposals that Congress is considering to increase tax compliance is a partner with the CPA firm Holthouse Carlin and Van Trite, Blake Christian. Nice to have you with us.
Good to see you, Tracy.
I'm hearing a lot of this word lately called the tax gap. What is the tax gap?
Well, a tax gap is the difference between what should be paid under the voluntary system that we have in the U.S. and what's ultimately paid or collected.
And I don't often think about the IRS as being voluntary because I think of the consequences of not paying your taxes, whether they're financial penalty or something much more serious like imprisonment. But we kind of do comply okay, don't we? Do you think of that as voluntary?
Right. I think the 16% is a low number. I think the non-compliance figure is actually a bit higher. But even at that level, that's $350 billion to $400 billion of uncollected taxes annually. So it's a big number.
How much of a difference does it make? Let's say, for example, I'll put the onus on me. You're paying all your taxes, but I'm not paying all of mine. Well, yeah, of course, there it goes. You're the CPA, right? Why is that unfair? And why is that really not right, no matter what your politics are?
Well, it gives that other business owner a competitive advantage. And oftentimes people like to talk about their taxes, and a lot of people get caught because they start talking over a beer or something about what they're doing or not doing.
Guess the loophole that I found.
Right, and all of a sudden, one of their workers or an ex-spouse or somebody turns them in. But it's not fair. You do need to have a level playing field to make sure that people are paying their fair share.
So I understand that there's really a number of these compliance issues that Congress is considering. I would like to run through a couple if you don't mind, because we can't cover them all. What happens when a credit card transaction takes place, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or whatever it is? So what's being considered here in regards to tracking those transactions?
Right. Right now, there's really no reporting of those credit card transactions unless somebody is initiating a 1099 from the payer side. But for the most part, those they're off the radar. And so the plan in 2010, there's a proposal that will make it mandatory that those tax processing companies, American Express, Visa, MasterCard, will report directly to the government electronically what who the recipient of those credit card receipts were, and then those will be matched at least to the gross income to make sure that they're at least reporting those.
All right, what's happening in regards to rental property? A lot of people do have rental property, and you have expenses associated with that. But what's the issue there?
The issue there is there's a lot of rental properties that are the recipient collects cash or the owner collects cash, and so and then they'll use that cash to pay for improvements or buy new properties and things. So they just want a more full accounting, and so there's going to be more 1099 type reporting of the repairs and maintenance on it, and then that's supposed to also catch kind of the underground economy of the handymen and the gardeners and things that maybe aren't paying their fair share.
One real quick, the taxpayer identification number, or TINs we refer to them as?
Right. There's a couple of things going on there. One is if it's a government contract, and let's say a contractor is building a building for city government, federal government, now they're going to cross-check and make sure that that person is clear on their taxes. If they still owe money, they will withhold at source on those payments.
And I understand one of the last things is, but there's many more in here for your advice that you give people, but is that increase in penalties. So keep an eye on this because the penalties are going up.
Right, and they're assessing them and not waiving them.
Gotcha. All righty. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
For Charter Local Edition, I'm Tracy Young. Now back to CNN Headline News.